Hello and welcome to From the South. This is Telesur's daily news show. We start off in Latin America. The death toll has been rising in Haiti as government and international aid workers make their way through affected regions of the island. The count now lies over 1,000 dead after Hurricane Matthew, a powerful Category 4 hurricane, decimated homes and farmlands last Tuesday. A resurgence of cholera has also been reported there, with over 10 related deaths thus far. This is as a result of an unavailability of clean drinking water, with many Haitians resorting to consuming unclean, stagnant water. Hurricane Matthew is the most destructive natural disaster to occur on the Caribbean island since the 2010 earthquake. The Civic Council of Popular and Indigenous Organizations of Honduras, or COPIN, said Tuesday that its leader had suffered his second assassination attempt just 7 months after the murder of his predecessor, Berta Cáceres. Thomas Gomez was intercepted by a gunman who fired several shots at him in the city of La Esperanza. Our correspondent Gerardo Torres has more.
Last night, Tomas Gomez, the coordinator of the Indigenous Council of Honduras, COPIN, escaped from an assassination attempt in the city of La Esperanza in Tibucá, while the man was expecting him when he was leaving his office to his home and trying to intercept him and shoot at his car. Gomez became the coordinator of COPIN 6 months ago after the assassination of indigenous leader Berta Cáceres, and he assures, and also a press release from the COPIN, that this assassination attempt came from the same companies that are trying to build the energy projects in the Lencas territory. According to Gomez, even though of these assassinations attempts and other threats against him and other members of the COPIN, they will continue resisting and defending the territories of the Lenca people in Honduras. Gerardo Torres, Telesur, Honduras.
In Chile, a peaceful demonstration by indigenous Mapuche communities was met with force by local police. This came ahead of the Day of Indigenous Resistance on October 12th. Protesters demanded the recovery of historic lands and the release of prisoners they say are held for political reasons. Peace talks have been announced between the Colombian government and the country's second largest rebel group, the National Liberation Army, or ELN. Like the FARC, the two sides have also been at war for 5 decades. The ELN has been in intermittent private talks with the government since January 2014 on how the two sides would conduct peace negotiation. This comes on the heels of a peace accord with the FARC rebels, which has been temporarily delayed after a plebiscite by the Colombian people. In international news, according to the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights Monitoring Group, Russian jets resumed heavy bombing of rebel-held eastern Aleppo earlier this Tuesday, this after several days of relative calm. The observatory said at least 8 people were killed. In the United States, the Republican National Committee announced on Monday it would continue to back Donald Trump even after his sexually aggressive comments surfaced on Friday. A group of young women protested outside the committee's headquarters in Washington, D.C., demanding it reconsider. Farmers protested the merger of the German drug and crop chemical maker Bayer with the U.S. seed company Monsanto at the Bayer headquarters in Leverkusen. Many farmers fear a monopolization of the multinational enterprises on seeds and pesticides, which would put them under pressure to buy genetically engineered seeds. Months since the European Union and Turkey signed a deal to shut off the route to Europe from Greece, thousands of refugees remain stranded on the island of Lesbos. According to the refugees, the asylum process has been very slow. The overcrowded camps only add to the tension and stress. Clashes erupted between police and activists who had been occupying a building in Bologna. Violent encounters between activists and the police occurred after occupants were told they had to leave. An estimated 65 people, including 25 children, were living in the squat. The United States and Philippine militaries concluded their final joint military exercise after President Rodrigo Duterte called for an end to the cooperation. Duterte said he would soon visit China and hopes to also travel to Russia. He again criticized the country's longtime ally, the United States, for, quote, arrogance. South African prosecutors ordered Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan to appear in court on November 2nd over allegations he broke public finance rules by granting a colleague early retirement. News of this development has sent the rand and share price reeling. Gordhan says he's been the victim of a politically motivated campaign over the last few months. And finally, Russia's Tatiana Lysenko has been stripped of her London 2012 Olympic gold medal in the hammer throw. The International Olympic Committee said the former world champion tested positive for steroids in retests of her sample. The athlete had already been banned by the International Association of Athletics Federation for doping earlier this year. And that's it for news from the South. More on these and other stories on our website, telesurtv.net/English.